Okay, we've got the cleaning guy here. What do you got?
Well, we've got a 327 here that the younger brother of a good friend of mine from when we were virtually kids starting out together, Mikey is the fellow's name that I worked with in the machine shop as we was kids, kind of learning the business. He went on to become a truck mechanic, and of course I stayed with it. Anyway, his younger brother called me up, said, hey, I've got a 327 here in my truck that I wonder if you can go through for us. Story goes is this engine has been done sometime before. As I look it over here, I looked at the casting number. It's a 3858174, which is a 327 small journal engine. Casting date on here, K45. So it was cast late in 1965. I would have guessed this would have come out in a 1966 model, but he told me that it's either a 67 or he's got it in a 67 truck right now. Story goes he was somewhere, went to a burnout competition, and he got a little bit carried away, a little higher RPM than he thought, and hurt the engine. He thinks it has a broken piston, maybe a broken piston skirt in it. We don't know for sure. Looking on the back here is some of the things I'm observing. The original breather system here has been plugged off, and they've evidently put breathers in these aftermarket valve covers with a more modern PVC system. They've probably got it installed in something that they used the long water pump on, because they drilled this hole here to be able to mount the alternator up here, which is not a real good idea, because the heads that are designed for this casting comes all the way up here, fills in just a little bit more, and actually has it's cast in there so you can have a bolt hole. This one, with the way that's done, when you drill that hole, it goes through to the inside of the motor. As you can see, we've got an oil leak here because of that. I don't like it when they do that, but sometimes you got to do what you can do. It's been changed over to a Edelbrock air gap performer intake manifold. This probably originally was a 275 horse 327 with a quadrajet carburetor and 4-barrel manifold on it. But one thing that really concerns me is I noticed on the back end of it here, somebody prior has had some issues getting the galley plugs out of this, and something has been broken here and brazed back up, and it is quite wet up here in the back end. I'm a little bit concerned, wondering if we have a leak in that repair. So we're going to look at that real close as we get into it here. But other than that, let's start taking it apart and see what we find.
But it's not a catastrophic failure, but he does think it has a...
No, my understanding is the engine was still running. He said he drove it home after this burnout competition, and I think he said they dropped the pan on it and found parts of a piston, or what he thought was a piston. So we'll find out here real shortly. That one's loose.
The plan is build it right?
Yeah, he wants us to put back right again, make it as good as we can. I hope we don't get in here and find out it's already been bored to the max or something. Throw that thermostat away. Never put an old thermostat back in a motor. You never know what kind of shape they're in. You have to get a wobble socket. That oil, shiny.
Huh.
You know, when you're tearing down the engine, that's where you don't want things to be too shiny. Short word for that.
You just can't wait to clean all this, can you?
I can't. It's my favorite thing.
Get the heads off?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's weird that some of the bolts came out real easy. Some of them quite a bit harder, and then we get down to the center bolt on each head, having to get the 1/2-inch gun. What's the casting date on your head?
K25?
This one is K35, and the block is K45. This is probably all original parts that went together, because they